that, or the first way, which you need is to develop the periphery. This is what Vice Chancellor, you alluded in your opening speech. You have to see how are your graduates needed? Where are they needed? Who needs your graduates? The community, worldwide, the Society of Tanzania, the government of Tanzania, ministries, which ministries of Tanzania? You have to make as a decision and start innovation immediately. You have to bring the periphery in the university. This says that you have to create a type of learning and teaching, applying different technologies, different ways of learning through online and so forth, so that people know that at RUCO, you will be able to solve the problems once you graduate or once you are attached to their way of learning. In this, you can say, oh, now RUCO is for our country. Dear participants, if you go to a country like United States of America, after the World War II, they said that the young people have now accomplished their mission. Those who went to war, they have accomplished their mission, they are back. Where should we take them? Back to their farms, to their parents? What will they do? So what they decided, they opened community colleges and expanded universities. They invested in higher education, and they called it a higher education, United States of America, higher education for democracy, higher education for our own governance. They made a decision. We are not able to conquer the World War II by ourselves. Without others, wouldn't make it. Now, we want to conquer the world through knowledge. We want to attract the international talents. International talents. The government invested billions and billions of US dollars in each university. You come from Tanzania, you come from Asia, you come from any country mentioned. You are a talented person, you will be given an opportunity to study in any United States of America university. So once you link your periphery, the American society through higher education decided to link the world as their periphery. For you, RUCO, you may decide we link Iringa and Njombe and Dodoma and Morogoro with our university, and we focus on that. And you developed outreach programs, as Vice Chancellor was saying. You come with the technologies. What type of technologies our people need? He was using example now, body now is carrying a lot of money. We use Visa card, I don't know what. Everybody now is no longer taking the letter to the post office. Everybody is in communication 24 hours. Everybody is reading, like Greece professors. You read your lecture on your mobile phone. You listen to BBC, you listen to the Radio Maria. Everything is on your mobile phone. It's the technology. But how do you customize, do you contextualize this? How do you make your periphery know that you are the one who is enabler of the zone? How are you enabler of the zone to access this technology or to apply this technology? Or are you also copying the technology like anybody else? China, having learned from US on what they have done, they decided to catch up. For them, they said, let us catch up. Let us catch up. And let us also, after catch up, that is, you observe, you orient, and you decide. After catch up, let us select something. We cannot really compete with the United States of America. They said, okay, for IT, we go for surveillance. Surveillance. Our communication is controlled. In China, technology is controlled. Everything is controlled. Whatever your using whether you are speaking, you are sending, WhatsApp, whatever, they control. They became the best on that. But for us, we have to see, if we have learned from others, where should we put our invention? What can we adopt? And what can we adapt so that we create our own, that everybody will come here? M-Pesa was developed in Kenya, if I'm not mistaken. Professor Chumbo, am I right or wrong? You want this side, yeah. M-Pesa is an invention from our fellow Kenyan. Now everybody is wiring money to his or her relatives, parents in the village through M-Pesa. An invention from, now we have M-Pesa, it was Safaricom, now you have Tigo, you have, I don't know what, there are so many. But this came from Africa. Invention. Someone will say, oh, since we don't have this type of technology, it is not possible for us to invent. There is always a room for invention, provided you have studied well your consumers, the periphery that you want to attach with. Participants of this convocation, the technology, knowledge we generate here, if we want to apply it or want to be applicable in the society, the periphery we have chosen, we have to come with our own invention. That cannot come without investing in our base. And our base, as we said, is the academic units, departments, academic staff. The research should be our passion at the teaching level in the units, at the department, research. Where do you want to excel? Where do you want to be a unique? We have many lawyers who are graduating, like tomorrow we'll have more than 140-something graduates of law. Someone say, oh, we don't have jobs, no jobs. How can you say no jobs in Tanzania, where you still have 67% of Tanzanians are in the rural areas, and they have a lot of disputes, and they need lawyers? It's up to you to come with invention and be consistent. The challenge we are facing in Tanzania is lack of consistency. Someone will come with invention, but just this week, I think you have also noted this. We start many restaurants in Tanzania here, even here in Iringa. The first year you go to the restaurant, high quality of food. The second year, poor quality of food. The restaurant closed. Consistency, continuity, which is sustained by the research. The third path that is important is to make your university entrepreneurial. Make your university entrepreneurial. Universities should generate resources, should be a changing university towards advancement, towards excellence. So, diversification of funding cannot be avoided. You have to diversify sources of your funding. Actually, someone may say, oh, this is not possible. I visited one university in East Africa known as Strathmore University in Kenya. I think I mentioned it sometime here. Strathmore University, they admit 6,000 students. And they give scholarships for 1,500 students. And they attract talents from poor families, economically poor families. These are the 1,500 students who are given scholarships. Out of 6,000, 4,500 are those talents who can pay for themselves. This is a lesson they learned from Harvard University. In Harvard University, you have talent, you have money, you get access. You are talented, excelling, based to their criteria, you will be given scholarship. Strathmore applied that, and now they have created high demand. At Strathmore University, based here in Nairobi, you go with your A level of Tanzania, you cannot get admission. You have to take matriculation examination in order to be admitted. So they decided to create a scholarship through talented students, diversification of resources. While in some, they go for the minimum qualifications and those who can pay. Diversify sources of funding. You may have students loan from the government, attractive programs, employability. You have to learn how to link with the private sector. The private sector we are talking here, or we are referring to here, is the business private sector. Business private sector. You have here someone like us, a company like us. Those are the companies that you have to start associating. Oh, we don't have agriculture, we don't have animal husbandry. No. ASAS has a lot to do. They have logistics, they deal with procurement. Are you linked with industry of ASAS in procurement, programming of IT here? They enter into contracts, law. You have to start linkages with universities, and this will make even your graduates more employable. It is workable. You can as well think of startups, those who are starting businesses. We have daring people in this zone, particularly on agriculture. How can you make their companies more competitive at the national, and also they can start exporting? You have good linkages with many countries. How can you make the farmers of this place here know how to export? So diversification of sources of income will help you to be innovative. Another important pathway that you have to invest in is stimulated academic heartland. Academic heartland. Whether you like it or not, in every university, there are programs which define RUCO, define universities. Which program is defining you? That is the program where the entrepreneurial thinking, innovation, or innovative ideas should start. How can we improve the way of teaching these students here in this department? That is the heart of the institution, the base. That's the base of taking off. At RUCO you have law, you have IT. These are your academic heartlands. You have to start innovation from these two programs. I said, for the student of law, for instance, there are a lot to do using your profession. Wherever there are people, the law is needed. It's only invention which is missing. Innovative ideas are missing. And Tanzanians, we have to think of managing our institutions, our autonomies, by innovation. We should not seek autonomy by just being supported by the government, given money by the government, given many students by loans and so forth. If you want to be a sustainable, autonomous university, you have to rely on your academic heartlands. Where you are strong is where you have to invest. You have to steer that. You have to stimulate that. You have to link that with the community. There are many things to talk about that. In leadership, sometimes we think, and this is a mistake I can admit myself I committed, When you see people are not moving, you bulldoze them. So, okay, they like or not, we move. No time to wait. It doesn't work in innovation that way. You have to move with the others. As you move, let others follow you. Let them start doing. Let them understand. You'll always have 10% of no. Don't be disappointed by that no. They will help you to think more. So, let that also be our pathway. Another important pathway is integrating entrepreneurial culture in whatever we are doing. Entrepreneurial culture in what we are doing. When you talk about entrepreneurship, institutional entrepreneurship, you are talking about a process and outcome at the same time. We do things in an entrepreneurial way. We achieve in an entrepreneurial way. You are recruiting new staff. Let them be assessed on entrepreneurial mindset with assessing a little bit of track record on entrepreneurship. What have they done? Where they were? Even if they have just graduated, try to assess in the class how this student has been innovative in the class. You can just take even the paper of test, the test of a certain course he has done, then just assess the way of writing, the way of creating space between one question and another, during discussion. You can see how creative this person is. So, integration of entrepreneurial culture in the university activities will make you more innovative, because you will never work for loss. You will always work for the profit, for the success, for the achievements, for the excellence, for the shining. And you will not be threatened by any competitor. A competitor for you will be an added value, because you will know how can you move along with that competitor. Dear participants, as I've said, we need a culture of innovation in the country. It's not there. It's not there. This country, the culture of innovation is not there. But revolutions, technological revolutions started in the universities. When Nyerere started claiming for independence of this country, he was from the University of Edinburgh. He was sent by the Catholic Church to go to study in Edinburgh by the scholarship of the British government, sent by the church. And when he came, immediately, while teaching, he said, we must organize ourselves. But when he was in Edinburgh, he learned about Fabianism philosophy. A change, innovation through evolution, not through revolution. Let things evolve. Knowledge sharing, knowledge dissemination, creativity, innovative ideas. And he was able, in few years, to have independence in place. After independence, he said, we must work for the independence of all African countries. He convinced the others through evolution. Of course, they had to mix some countries. They had to go through revolution. But he championed that. And he gave a space for incubation. Innovation needs incubators. You have to create a place at the departmental level, faculty level, institution level, where these new ideas will be tested, will be applied, and will be commercialized. There is no need of innovation without commercialization. You have to commercialize it. As I gave you the example of Strasbourg. They commercialized it. You pay high fees, those who can pay, and you support talents from the grassroots. From the poor, economically poor families, but talents. Commercialization. That's what Nyerere did. We got independence through this model, and other countries also will attain independence. Tanzania hosted Liberation for Africa Committee for Liberation of Africa was hosted in Tanzania. Training, Iringa being one of their area of training, leadership. If that was done by Nyerere from university, he came with this idea of independence. It is from this university that you can solve the problem of unemployment in Tanzania. Our graduates, you should not be disappointed. You should not be disappointed. Just be innovative, but commercialize your innovation. You are a lawyer, you go back to your village, you see people litigating, dispute of the boundary of a, you say, okay, I'm a lawyer, I can write this to you, and you ask the, I don't know, ward officer, and you pay 50,000 for each my signature. Whether you are an advocate or not, you solve that. Consultancy, let them pay for the knowledge you acquired for 4 years here. You were trained, paid for it, and you have to make them pay. Because if you continue pro bono, whether someone is poor, pro bono, someone is rich, pro bono. Yeah, pro bono means you just give us a charity, will not make any progress. Commercialize things. That's why if you compare economic growth of Tanzania and that one of Kenya, Kenya is ahead of us in many things as far as innovation is concerned. It's ahead of us. But we are the largest population country in East Africa, more arable land than anybody else, natural resources, just mentioned, so many. But we are the poorest. We are not able to create jobs for young people. Of recent, you heard Kenya entering an agreement with the medical companies or societies of UK to export labor. Kenya is exporting labor for the university graduates with all the challenges. And as we speak now, every year, the national, I mentioned this to you sometime, the remittance, Kenyan remittance per year is $3 billion US. Tanzania, $500 million US. Other 3 billion, Tanzania 0.5. And then we are proud, we are a peaceful country, we are a united country. This country is the best in Africa, it's the island of peace, yes. But we need money, our young people must be productive. A workforce must generate wealth, create wealth. In 2000s, most of you professors, you know very well, they started the supermarkets in Dar es Salaam, ShopRite, Nakumat, don't know what and what. All of them today are closed. Why? No middle class that will go to purchase. They go to Tandale, buy spinach and everything, not to supermarket. Why? No innovation. But you go to Kenya, supermarkets are increasing. While here we are only in Mlimani City. And in Mlimani City you will find the congestion of companies there. You can't have one building just for one company because middle class. Middle class in Tanzania is less than 5 million. And this is middle class for survival, not for business. Kenya, you have about 15 million people in the middle class. I give you the example of the people because you have Kuria in Tanzania, Kuria in Kenya, you have Jaluo in Tanzania, you have Jaluo in Kenya, the same people, brothers and sisters. The other side, excelling economically. The other side, enjoying peace and unity. But very poor. Cannot afford fees for education and so forth. So, to solve the problem of employment, we have to be innovative. A country like Philippines, when they realize that there are many, their country is small, cannot absorb them, they have invested a lot in education, they decided to invest in the health sector only and to provide the periphery, they define the periphery of Western society. They are now exporting nurses and doctors worldwide. China, when they discovered 1.3 billion people, How can we create employment for all these young people? Of course, let us control birth rate. They also saw a danger of having too many old people in the near future. So they said, no, we have to find a way. They decided to adopt the technologies from other countries and they develop manufacturing sector. And they, since 1978, they are the leading country in the world to graduate in poverty. More than 800 million people have graduated from poverty, and the others are surviving. Professors who have been abroad. Have you ever seen a Chinese employed in America, in Italy, as a driver, taxi driver? They like matching a business. They can sell, papers, they sell what? You go to carry a corner, they can brush your shoes. They need your dollar. They don't need your job, they need your dollar. Make money, not through employment, through enterprise, entrepreneurship. Government of China invested in the quality education of the citizens, whether it is better education, university education, but to enable the citizens to go and bring dollar abroad and don't invest in those countries and remain there. Don't seek citizenships there. You go and get money and come back, retain your citizenship at home. Why can't you learn from the Chinese in business? You are learning on how to control people, you Tanzanians. I hope here we have some politicians. You go there to learn how to crash Chadema, to crash what and what. Go and learn business. How are they managing? You go and learn about what can we deal with the opponents, what can we do? Yeah, they can teach you everything. But let us go to China to learn about entrepreneurship. You go to Dar es Salaam, you can't find a Chinese running a Bajaj. No, they are just selling toothpick, I don't know what you call it, toothpick, they sell anything they can sell. What they need, as I said, your dollar. The same in the US, the same wherever they are in the world. That's the time they have chosen as a country. The government, in order for the university also to champion innovation, you have to influence the government to be innovative. Let us learn from others on how innovation is becoming source of national wealth, economic growth, economic development, job creation. Innovation normally builds itself, and nobody can block you to innovate if you have decided to be innovative. RUCO, you have that, and you can be a unique example on innovation in this country as a university. You cannot avoid taking risks. Vice Chancellor, you may have meager resources, but if you have decided to be innovative, start with, through the academic staff, start with one. Set targets, mid-year targets, annual targets, do evaluation, engage as you orienting yourself, involve others from somewhere else. Let use be the example. The risk you are taking is that your budget, probably quarter of it, may go for the innovation, and you have to cut costs in other areas. It may not be something pleasant to people who want big salaries, but at the end, it will pay. Dear students, go by startups. Go by startups. Start your own enterprises. Make your profession a business, an enterprise. Even if you have decided to go back to the village to be a farmer, make the farm your enterprise. Link with the technology. The good thing, when you start with the academic, you will attract the talents from the world. If you start something special here, from other universities, they will come and invest. They will come and learn. And the quality scientists will attract other quality scientists from elsewhere, and they will start teaching and training together. Because everybody who is innovative is moving around the world to learn. Who has become more innovative than I am? Of recent, last week I was in KUHAS, Catholic University of Medical Sciences. They have started what they call a scientific week. They have attracted partners from all over the world on the research. Do innovation, unaniandikia mtuletea. Naambia muda unaisha. Naona bado hamjao innovative, ananiogopa nadhani sababu katibu mkuu labda nikimwambia muda umeisha atanifukuza kazi. Innovation. So at KUHAS, they have attracted professors from different countries. And you hear that the university in the year 2010, when we were still under the same university I was the leader, they were asking money for takeoff, for organizing, for steering research. Now they are generating a lot of money every year, more than 1.5 billion every year is generated, apart from the laboratories, etc. Scholarships for our lecturers to go to do doctoral programs, postdoctoral programs. So let us decide to be innovative. And I've said, as I've said, dear students, dear graduates, be unique, be unique. Not every young person is going around like the Chinese. When you sell in Tanzania, you are not innovative. Because Mama Lishe is selling. And you, from the university, you are doing the same. Go and start Mama Lishe in New York. You bring us dollar here. Do you agree with me, fellow students? Graduates of this year, please, can you wave your hands, please? Can I see you? Yes. Go and open Mama Lishe in UK, London City. Bring sterling here, pound. Bring dollar from US here. Don't go and open Mama Lishe here in Iringa. No. You are intruding the market of the poor. Let the poor remain to that. Because when you decide to be innovative, you have to target two big markets. For the professional services, you target the domestic market and the international market. You have always to think about being the super power of what you are doing in the world, not only in Tanzania. I can give you the last example of one country, our neighbor again. Rwanda decided to pioneer innovation on application, on IT. Currently, they are leading. We have to select which area do we want really to be the leading entrepreneur. One.